Hello and welcome to another Stem in a Box instructional video. Today what we'll be doing is starting off where we left off with the Pong game, and we'll be using ScratchLink to control the game instead of the normal keyboard situation or the mouse in normal Scratch. So this is the ScratchLink. We're using the nunchuk today. Alternatively, we could easily use the bigger controller, but today we're going to use the nunchuk, and we're just going to start with the simple buttons at the front. So the nunchuk's got the joystick at the top, it's got the gyro, pitch and roll, and it's also got the two buttons. So that's our goal. So this is where we left off before, where we made, this is the Scratch starter code that comes from Scratch. So it's just the Pong game, and we just use the mouse. So what we're going to do, is we're going to use the keyboard, we're going to use the ScratchLink instead. So we're just going to control the paddle here, so we just simply need to go to the paddle sprite and get rid of that code, and instead of the X coordinate moving according to the position of the trackball in the mouse, we need to read the sensor of this. So the first thing to do is that we need to see what data we've got. So we just need to import the blocks. It's pretty simple, and we just import the blocks, and then we've got our blocks are there. Okay, so if we want to read the number for the buttons, we'll just click those two, and we see when we press it's 1, when we let go it's 0. So 0 is off and 1 is on. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. So now our plan is going to be, if we are pressing the top button, then the top button variable would be equal to 1, in which case we're going to go right, or we're going to add positive 10. Or if we press the bottom button, then the bottom button variable will be equal to 1, in which case we're going to go left, which will be subtracting 10 or adding negative 10 in the X-plane. So that's our plan, that's our strategy. Okay, so how do we do that? What we need to do is we need a couple of if statements. So we will go to control and put an if statement in there, and we'll just do, say, the situation where we're jumping to the right, which is where the top button is pressed. So we need an operator. Let's just say equal to for now, and we need to read the state, the variable state of that top button, which is just called top button. Okay, and if it's equal to 1. Simple as that. Now if it is equal to 1, then what we want to do is, we don't want to set X, what we want to do is change X. So we just go down and grab change X, so moving to the right would be changed by positive 10, so that's correct. So that's the moving right. Now I'm just going to duplicate and dump that in there and get rid of button top and put button bottom, and then just make that negative 10 instead of positive 10. Okay. So that should be it really. So let's just test that. So I'll get that started. Let's see. Get that started. Oop. Okay, so left. Gotcha. Yes. It's a little bit sluggish, so I need to change that. So it's working. It's not perfect, it's a little bit sluggish, but we can change that. So when I'm using the, you can see there I'm using the, that's it. Using the buttons, and it's moving left and right according to which button I'm pressing. Excellent. So that's done. Hello and welcome back. What we're going to look at now is the outputs of the ScratchLink, which is some LEDs. So controlling those outputs directly from Scratch. So now let's pick up from where we left off, which is our Pong game, and we had it being controlled with the paddle being controlled with the two buttons on the nunchuk. So now what we're going to do is add some outputs plan. So let's say when the ball hits the paddle, we want something positive to happen, and that might be, just say, a colour. We won't worry about the movement at the moment, we'll keep it really simple, we'll just make a positive colour. So let's say purple, I like purple. And when the ball hits the red getting out bit, let's make the ScratchLink give out a negative colour, let's say red. Okay, so that's a very simple plan. So the first thing we need to do is find in the code where those things happen. So we need to go to the ball code and find, well, where is the ball touching the paddle? And of course, it's right here. And so now what we need to do is figure out, well, how do we control those LEDs? Pretty simple. There's 3 LED blocks, an LED off, and then an LED on with the individual ranges, and you can either control those colors with a combination of red, green, blue, which is what all colors are consisted of, or you can just use the drop down menu. So I'm just going to use the drop down menu to make it easy. Okay, so let's say my purple, and all of them I'm going to turn purple on. So purple is on, I click LED off and it goes off. Great. If I wanted red, then I select red and it's red. Okay, so it's as simple as that. Great. So in here I want my positive color. So when you're touching the paddle, I want to make that purple. So we will make that purple. And then we're going to turn the LED off afterwards, you see, so it's just going to start moving and play a water sound and then go off. So we'll see what happens there. Now, over here is where it's getting out, you see. So when it touches the red, that's when it's getting out, so we're going to make it red. And that's where the whole game stops as well. So the issue is, see that stop all, that will actually immediately stop all the code and turn everything off. So what we need to do is just put a quick delay in there, so that a 1 second delay, so that the red will be on for 1 second before all of the code is turned off. So let's test that. So it should emit purple when I strike the ball, and it should emit red when I get out. So let's just test that. Yep. Yep, good. I'll let it get out now. So I'm deliberately going to miss. Good. So, I think that's worked. Excellent. Thank you.